It was Sartre who wrote that hell is other people, and this morning it certainly felt that way. Commuters in the poorest suburb of Paris, with one of France's highest coronavirus death tolls, finally returning to work. With our deconfinement, I hope everyone respects the rules, this woman said, for all our sakes. As it turned out, they had swapped their close confinement at home for close confinement with strangers. Face masks compulsory, along with written permission from their employers to travel at rush hour. The very act of keeping seats free having the unintended effect of forcing commuters to stand together. At the global headquarters of Veolia, a waste management company, employees were greeted with the first of their 3 free masks a day. A heat scanner checks every arriving temperature, with a doctor on hand to send the sick home. If it looks like the Marie Celeste, that's because Veolia is for now only letting 30% of its 2,500 staff back into the building, and Camille here didn't sound entirely happy to be there. Are you seriously telling me you wear a mask all day for 8 hours?
Yes.
What's that like?
What's that? It's complicated. Just look at what we are doing. We do understand each other, but it's quite hard sometimes, but it's okay.
Is it better than working at home?
No, it's not.
The French have a word for today's atmosphere: anxiogène, anxiety-inducing. Some shops which could open have not yet done so. The Champs-Élysées is looking more like itself, but the theatre where Sartre first locked 3 characters in a room for eternity is itself closed. And how could Paris be Paris without its cafes and restaurants? When the bibliophiles returned to this left bank bookshop, it was only 5 allowed in at once. Follow the one-way system to the Camus section and you won't find his novel The Plague, which sold out just before France went into lockdown. Would you describe yourself as happy or nervous?
Both. Happy. More happy than nervous, but a little bit nervous.
France has marked its highest infection areas in red, with green marking where the rate is more under control. In both zones, most shops, businesses and primary schools can now open, but secondary schools are still shut. As for restaurants and cafes, well, they might reopen next month, but only in the green zone, assuming the infection rate there stays low. From today, anyone is allowed to travel up to 60 miles from their home, but you can be fined €135 if you go any further without a valid reason. The Estournay family have been confined in their cramped city flat, living and sleeping in one room. Now they can go out to buy new shoes and clothes for Maya, their 6-year-old daughter, though sending her back to primary school is, they say, still too dangerous.
No, I think we probably won't do it until September.
Really? Even though you've waited?
Yes, because there are restrictions at school which are difficult for a child.
Will the other children in the class go back to school?
Mostly not, in fact, because their parents are afraid of the virus.
So still no school for Maya, and all her outdoor play is on the street, given that her local park is still closed. Cultivate your garden, wrote Voltaire about life. He didn't mean it literally, but Paris's gardens are its breathing spaces, and without them, what kind of life is that?